All right, one day before Sacrifice. Hopefully the last show for quite a while in New Orleans. Tiring. Tiring, guys. It's tiring. Now, I'm sure people are going to say, what? It was a good show. When you could see it, yes. When you could actually see what's going on, yes. But tell me, how many times have you seen the company do terrible work production? Look at this shot. This is at the very end of the show after Dirty Dango had been defeated by Josh. What is that? It's in my face. I do believe I have the shot of Josh Alexander's back of his dome. The back of his head. And understand, this is after he won. Instead of zooming back and waiting, no. Then you got, I believe, Danny Luna's ass. I believe this is a shot of Danny Luna's ass. Danny Luna's ass. And if I'm right, I think I got one shot of one of the cameramen, and I'm zooming in right now. You're seeing his face in your face. And I'm taking it away. Look. I'm going to say this now. There's going to be no Gump report on this. Because last week, after I found out about it, I was going to do it this week. But with certain things that's going on right now, I didn't get a chance to make the Gump report. Because with certain things that was happening. I'm telling you right now. After finding out that when Scott D'Amore was still there, he was trying to set up things for Full Sail University. I'm sure someone's already checked, and they will find it. He was trying to set up Impact, well, TNA, to work in Full Sail University. Since WWE is not using it anymore, and NXT is not there anymore, he wanted to move in there. And understand, no one says they're going to do it because the current president has already stated that he wants to cost cut as much as possible to make things more efficient. To do that is to do live events. I do not believe that's going to happen. So seeing this, where maybe 2 matches out of 6 are just passable, and the rest you see either asses or bad camera switching or overhead shots that look like they should not be overhead shots, and the hard cam itself, this camera, the main camera that sees all of the entire arena, is zooming in like this. Why do you freaking care about TNA? And I know there's one person that he spoke before saying, I didn't see anything wrong because you love TNA and you'll take what you get. I'm not like that. I'm here to tell you the truth. I am unbiased as much as I can be. And I love TNA. But I'm not going to lie about it. Let's move on. The first match, Ali versus Kevin Knight. Now, this was a match you could not see correctly because there were way too many zoom-ins. There was way too much of close-ups that was so bad you couldn't see when Ali was going to jump on Kevin Knight or Kevin Knight was going to jump on Ali. You saw mostly bodies flying around, but you could not see where they ended up in almost all cases. So that match was a wash for me personally. It was a wash. You can look at it. Don't take my point. Don't take it for myself. Go watch snippets on YouTube and you'll see for yourself that you can't see what's going on. You're seeing majority of it is they're not in frame. And that's the key of this entire situation. It's not even talking about if the storylines are good, if they can actually perform in the ring, if you can see if the ring attire looks good, if they're actually acting like their character, you can't watch it. So what we do know is that Kevin was getting the advantage over a Ali we trust. His security gets taken out. The good hands come out. But then we get Kushida and Alex Shelley coming. No, not Alex Shelley. It was Chris Sabin coming out. But by the time they came out and tried to help and they got nailed, Kevin's left arm was splashed by Ali. And now supposedly cannot wrestle for Sacrifice. But it is now interesting enough, Alex Shelley who wants to take his place and try to help out. Even though he didn't feel really comfortable about getting basically sold out by his friend. That's what he's thinking because Kushida threw in the towel trying to care about him. It shows he didn't care enough. And he wished that Chris Sabin was there instead of Kushida who threw it in. And then he decided to get a match set up to try and fix a little bit of the problem. So I'm going to say this now. This match. The Good Hands versus Kushida and Alex Shelley. Supposedly 2 errors in the show. In other words, once the time splitters were put together, they had two errors where one nailed the other, but they still won their match. And seeing that they were arguing afterward, it makes you think how far Shelley is going to go, staying with time splitters, staying with Chris Sabin, staying with Kevin Knight and Kushida, because it feels like he's going to leave them. That's an interesting thing. And now the good hands who have been trying to follow Ali he trusts ain't there anymore, because since the good hands showed Ali that he could not get it done and he's been underestimating time splitters, he now has the grizzled young veterans in his corner now instead of the good hands. He thanks them and he walks off. You see, Haunch is like, Notch. Was it Haunch? Notch. He said, I can't believe this guy did that. And Scott is saying he's amazing. I will say that Scott is staying in character. And he also is a decent to very good wrestler. I will say that. But seeing how they always sponsor the good hands is always a big question. Will they ever give them something really good to sink their teeth into as a storyline? As heels or faces. I just don't believe it is. They're just going to be supporting cast. That's it. Let's get to the second match, shall we? And I know there's going to be people saying, dude, you can see it now. She sucks. No. Can't. I can't. Ash of Elegance versus Angel Blue. I am telling you that when it comes down to it, with only 2 matches now being seen and done, this is where we're at when it comes to Ash of Elegance. Is she more aggressive in the ring? Yes, that is apparent. Does she talk more in the ring? Yes, she never used to talk as much as she talks now. It is obvious that she is playing into a character which is extremely new for her. This is what a lot of people don't get. And I'm not saying I'm in the corner of Ash of Elegance. I'm giving you a fair shot at this. Within 5 matches, we will know how bad she is as a wrestler, but how good she will be as a character. Will the Iceman accentuate the character that she has? Now, I will tell you, seeing that she wanted this woman to kiss her boot because she felt insulted, that is Ash of Elegance, that goes with the character. She's trying to be posh. She's trying to be upscale. She's trying to be way more than anyone ever could be. Seeing that the Iceman was cleaning her wrestling sock, of the face of a little bit of Angel Blue. That goes with the character. Now, I'm not going to tell you that her wrestling is much more elaborate, much more physical, much more dangerous. It is obvious that you got baseline of what Dana Brooke used to be. With on top of that, what she built as someone on NXT who is literally beginning to rebuild herself. So that's what we got here. We're getting not Dana Brooke, but we're getting someone who is being built back in NXT, but got it cut short. So now she has to now continue that build. I'm not going to tell you that she's going to be even more better or worse. I don't know. We need to at least have 5 matches or more before we really know, can she hold a promo better? Can she keep her character going? Will the Iceman really accentuate what's going on in the ring, outside the ring, in the back? We do not know yet. I'm giving this a fair shot. Unlike when it came to the inspirations, they literally did the same freaking stick as they did. They literally went to the same poses. Inspiration? No. They should never did the inspiration crap. They should have left it alone and tried to be something unique. Am I saying Ash of Elegance is way better than Dana Brooke? Yeah, it is better. No matter how much you don't like it, I'm being honest here. Did Dana Brooke ever act like that? No. Did she ever act this aggressive on the main roster? No. Not even when she was a face and yelling at people did she have this type of personality. She just didn't. But does it look developed? No. That is the one thing you need to remember. She is not developed yet. Like I said, she was already developing her new character when she got fired. Well, not fired. Released. With your future endeavors. By Mr. Who's gonna eventually probably get himself in trouble, and that is John Laurinaitis. But you get my point. If you don't like it, fine. Leave a comment below and I'll tell you, well, that's on you, not me. Because I'm giving you a fair assessment, whether you like it or not. That is you. You don't like her. You don't like her. If you don't like her, then you're never going to be able to accept if she does show progress, that she's better. So that's a you problem, not a me problem. I'm just being honest. Let's move on. Match 4. This is one of the few matches that you could honestly say was, you could see what's going on. And that is Danny Luna versus Marcus Slamovich. Now, on Explosion, which I don't watch, which I'm not getting because I don't have the money to start spending up almost $10 a month extra. I'm on a fixed budget. I am basically disabled. I'm going to do what I got to do. But supposedly, Jody Threat supposedly beat, I believe, got beat or was beat. What did they say? Did she get beat by Killer Kelly? I think Killer Kelly got beat. I believe. You can tell me below. If you watch Explosion, you can tell me. Or you can tell me when to look. Because I think this Tuesday, I might have missed it already because I was working on Roadblock. And then I did everything else. You know what I'm talking about. But in this match, generally you could see what was going on. Now, I'm going to say this. When you see Marsha and you see Danny, they do have chemistry together. They do. It's not bad. The question's going to be when they have their match, because it looked like MK Ultra will be going up against the current contenders. But the question's going to be, are they going to drop it? Don't think so. But will it be a good match? I do believe it will be, counting if you can watch it. PCO versus Alan Angels was not long. And that was also a match you could see decently clearly. Because it wasn't very long. Because PCO destroyed Alan Angels. He just annihilated. There was no point of it. And then we get Khan coming out. Now, I know I didn't say anything on sound check when it came to Khan. I didn't want to. I purposely did that. And I know people say, oh, you forgot it. And I would say, yeah, I would have. But this time I did not. Because when it comes down to Khan, we know Khan and PCO are basically mirrors of each other. And the one thing I want to know is when they're going to team up. Yeah. This is coming, I think. I think eventually them fighting so much and being so dead even that eventually one of them is going to figure out, PCO, we need to stop. We can rule this. Let's have one match. One. And if we can make it work and win, we can become tag champions. Give me one time. One. And I know there's someone say, dude, I'd rather see the Ascension. Well, you're not going to get it. Because look what's going on with Simon Gotch. Where's Simon? Now, if he's still working with TNA, maybe we may get a match against Matthew Rinwall. But I don't see them teaming up together. And to be honest, I don't want to see the Vaudevillains ever again. I'd rather see something entirely different. I'd rather see Matthew go up against Simon because they got a freaking attitude toward each other when they used to be friends together. That's what I like to see. I don't want to see them together again. No matter how great they were on NXT. That was NXT, what? 7 years ago? 8 years ago? Done. I want to see something new. I don't want to rehash stuff. That's one of the major issues TNA hasn't done more than AEW or WWE. TNA does it worse than WWE does in AEW. You know why? Because the roster's smaller. That's worse. Moving on. I'm going to say this about Steve. I'm interested. Yes, he beat Rhino. And I believe again. Rhino had a chance at Explosion. He got beat again. I believe Rhino did not win his match against him on regular TV. And was it Hard to Kill? I think he had the match at Hard to Kill. And now he had a match on Explosion. Beat him there. What is next for Steve? And I'm saying, Steve. That should be how evil he becomes. He's no longer crazy Steve. No. Steve. I want that fear with just a word, one word. You don't always get it right with a person's name. I want him to be so terrifying he's called Steve. But I don't know who he's going up against. But I'm curious to see what type of story they may do. Maybe. Counting if they do a story. Let's see what else we got here. The talk, I'm going to give it to you like this. Knowing that Moose and Eric Young have not really had a match together, at least not in TNA or Impact, maybe outside, maybe. But seeing this will be a first time match they both have ever had together, if it wasn't a tag, will be interesting. Seeing that, well, Eric has said what Eric needed to say. He said he's not going to stop, he's just going to move forward. Seeing that Moose came out and said, I don't care if you move forward and I take nothing from you, but I've studied you. I mean, basically studied his tapes. And I know what you can do, but nothing's going to stop me. But how about instead of waiting, let's have a damn street fight now, and then he's all red up and says, yeah, come in here. And he says, nope, that's not how the system works. And pretty much Eric Young gets caught blindsided by the system. And yes, ABC comes out, which I'm kind of surprised that ABC would come out. But they do come out. They save him. And now they're setting up for Sacrifice. I am interested in seeing this first time match in TNA. These two actually going against each other. Because as far as I know, they never did in singles. Tag, maybe. But singles, no. Last match, which was a bad match. You could not see it very well. It was a very bad match. You could see it for yourself. The match quality was not the issue here because Dirty Dango did a decently good job. I'm not saying Dirty Dango's the most greatest wrestler. He's not. But he's a good wrestler that has good character and says clearly, boy, I hate pro wrestling. He still does that and it still gets over. But the problem was the camera work was so horrendous. Whenever you could finally see them, it's because they had to stay still in one place and the cameramen didn't need to do this. They could actually stay in one place, and if they're going to do like this, they're going to go like that. That was it. You cannot tell me that match was actually one of the best matches I've seen Dango when you could watch it. But due to the fact the camera was so badly handled by the production and the cameraman, you couldn't see the full scope of it. Yes, you did see Josh tap out Dirty Dango. He did. And then you saw, again, that's in my face, the back of his head. Instead of waiting until he turns around, they zoom into the back of his fucking head. WWE wouldn't do that. AEW wouldn't do that. NWA wouldn't do that. NXT wouldn't do that. If they did, it would be a quick flip. And remember, NXT has minimal work there. They don't have that many cameramen either. But they know how to do the camera work properly because currently TNA's camera work and production sucks. And with now knowing again, I'm reminding you guys that it's already been made very clear for more than a few times that Anthem wants TNA to cut their budget more. They don't want them to spend money. They want them to spend less money. Maybe Full Sail University might be possible, but that means they're not going to do any live events other than the Impact Plus, TNA Plus shows and the pay-per-views they have. So they get nowhere. Now, maybe they'll change their tune and we will get something. We will get an up in production. We will get them actually not only maybe going to not Daly's Place, but, hell, why not? Daly's Place, where AEW is gone. And Full Sail University, where they got the camera system set up. That is actually pretty damn good because it's still a good arena, even if it's only 200 people in it. At least you can get the students there to watch. But the point is, it doesn't matter. The point is, if you can't get production done correctly no matter where you go, do you actually improve? No. But this is just me. Peace.